A very good evening and heartiest welcome to all fellow Toastmasters and dear guests to this momentous milestone meeting number 350th of Bombay Toastmasters. Myself Varun, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. At times life can feel like it goes on and on forever, and at others, life also feels like it passes by in the blink of an eye, just like that. However, whether the days and the years seem to drag on or race past, there are always milestones along the way. And life is all about celebrating these milestones, these little accomplishments, victories, and achievements. And that is exactly what we have in store for you all this evening. But before we start, let us quickly go over some of the rules for this online meeting. First and foremost, requesting all the wonderful guests that have bestowed their presence on us today on this landmark meeting to kindly rename themselves. All the guests can attach the prefix guest with their name, and the visiting Toastmasters from the other clubs in presence today may please prefix visit with their name. I'll also request all the speakers and role players to prefix the respective role to their name so that it's easy to identify them. Let's take the next 10 seconds for this activity. All right. All the speakers are also requested to do a quick audio and video check before they start their speech, and requesting all to kindly refrain from typing in the chat box, especially when a speaker is speaking, as it can be distracting. However, you are always most welcome to use the private chat to provide feedback to the speaker. All are also requested to keep their audio on mute when they are not speaking, and do not click on share screen unless your speech or role requires you to do so. With the ground rules of the online meeting in place, let us begin with the mission of our club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, the next person to whom I am passing the baton is a member of the club since 2013. So, naturally, when you have 8 long years of learning and association with Bombay Toastmasters, some special moments are bound to be there. And when I asked her, she fondly recalled the Women's Day event of 2019. It was called The Power of the Pink, which was convened by her. And landmarks like these always give her a moment to recollect, rejoice, and take pride in the fact that how far we have come. Bombay Toastmasters has always been there amidst the upheaval of the changes happening all around, constantly evolving with the time while staying true to its essence and core. And it's true, isn't it? Please join me in welcoming the Toastmaster of the year 2019, the very first from our club, Bombay Toastmasters, the presiding officer of today's evening, none other than Toastmaster Pratibha Kaman. Over to you.
Thank you, Varun. It's my pleasure to welcome you all at this 350th milestone meeting. And it's really a special occasion. Let me welcome first our District Director, Toastmaster Mukta Nadkar.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
I would like the Zoom Master to just spotlight our District Director, Mukta, please. Just spotlight. Dear friends.
Done, Pratibha.
Thank you, Mukta, for attending today.
Thank you so much.
Our next guest is our Program Quality Director, Toastmaster Sapna. He was always associated with Bombay Toastmasters, right from my Power Up in days. And our special keynote speaker, Club Growth Director, Toastmaster Hardik. We welcome you all these 350th milestone meeting. And our area director, Toastmaster Vishal, who's always there for us. Thank you very much for gracing the occasion. Now, when we are talking about Bombay Toastmasters, it's the picture, what we visualize is some club who's a role model, old rules, and why not? Because we are old. We are 350 meetings old. And we follow the same thing for years together. Still, we learn the new things. And I'm very happy that some of us, today you will see the speakers who are associated with Bombay Toastmaster for more than 10 years, still enthusiastically giving their icebreaker today. And evaluators, all new evaluators, just completing their level 1. But with this Bombay Toastmasters, once again, they are trying on this platform of learning. Now, let me introduce. I would like to invite our district director, Toastmaster Mukta, to say some few words on this occasion. Toastmaster Mukta, virtual stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Madam President, fellow district officers, Toastmasters, and dear guests. Good evening to all of you. Today, I was just wondering, what should I say to a club that is 350 meetings old? I read a couple of things recently about a company that has flourished and existed for 350 years, which is most unusual for a company to do that, but it just showed the resilience, the belief that they have. But today I'd just like to tell you a very short story of a fighter pilot called Charles Plum. This is probably one of my favorite stories to tell. Charles Plum was a fighter pilot in the World War and was stationed on the aircraft carrier Kitty Hawk in the Pacific. While he was doing his 75th sortie over Vietnam, he was shot down, captured by the Vietnamese, and a prisoner for 6 years. Years later, while he was in a restaurant having dinner with his wife, someone at the far end of the restaurant recognized him and said, "Hey, you're Plum." And the man looked up and said, "How do you know?" He said, "I was the one who packed your parachute." Charles Plum was dumbfounded because the man continued to say, "And it worked." And Plum smiled and said, "Yes, it worked. And if it hadn't, I wouldn't be here." He goes back home and he thinks about this man who might have been an insignificant person on the Kitty Hawk, whom he passed every day, several times a day, and never wished him or never even knew who he was. And yet this insignificant man had saved his life because he had so carefully packed that parachute day after day. I think it is a lesson for all of us to remember, even the smallest person who does so much work and helps our club, our organization grow year after year. So never feel small or that you have the smallest role to play in your club, because every role is significant. Everyone contributes. This is also a lesson to remember that we have grown on the shoulders of great people in our organization. And we shouldn't forget all those who have helped serve this organization and bring it to where we are, so that we are enjoying the glory and success. So today, Bombay Toastmasters, 350 meetings didn't just happen. It happened because of the work, the dedication of every single member of the past to bring it to where it is today. So heartiest congratulations to each one of you, past and present members, who have helped establish this club to be one of the finest in our district. Congratulations, Madam President, all the members. May you have many, many more glories and successes. And I hope I will visit the 400th, 500th meeting and many, many more to come. all the success and congratulations. And with that, I will hand it over back to you, Pratibha.
Thank you, Mukta. Indeed, you set the tone. You got that congratulatory mode. I am very happy to see even our oldest member. I can see Natarajan here, and Brilliant, Arvind. We all were together for last more than 8-9 years. Every Saturday is our BTM, and Saturdays are for BTM. That's our life now. Okay, coming back, today's keynote speaker is someone special. Yes, special for me, as in my Toastmaster journey, I met him some 2-3 years back. We both were mentoring a club, and we were meeting after every 15 days for mentoring a club, helping each other. And finally, he became division director. I became area director. I was area director. He was a president. So it was a fantastic relationship because he was a division director or also president. And believe me, the word reverse mentoring, I learned from him only. If I had to introduce him, I will introduce him with 3 I: intelligent, innovative, and insightful. Yes, he is intelligent, a rank holder chartered accountant. Believe me, but he is not investing his time in audits and tax, but something innovative like startups and Toastmasters and whatnot. And his thoughts, yes, they are insightful. They will take you somewhere, inspire you somewhere on the top, and you will believe that you are one of the achievers. You can achieve it. Yes, please welcome Toastmaster Hardik. Toastmaster Hardik, virtual stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Pratibha. You just took me down memory lane, actually. September 2016 is when I started my Toastmasters journey. It's been exactly the 6th year that I started off my Toastmasters journey. I remember last 1 year how much we tortured each other in the district as division directors and area directors. I think we've come a really long. The fact that we can still be together on one common Zoom platform. First of all, a very good evening, everyone, and to everyone whose videos are off. I'm hoping it's not because you have a black curtain on your laptop or on your face, so you can actually switch on your cameras and probably smile. And it's the 50th milestone meeting of Bombay Toastmasters, one of the oldest clubs in Bombay, one of the best clubs in Bombay. Sajid Arms, while you didn't give a lot of instructions today, so that could be a saving grace for me because I'm going to slightly find a touch on religion and mythology in my speech today. So thank you so much. You didn't tell those instructions today. I'm going to be in a safe zone that the G will not point them out for me. So a quick question to everyone in the audience. When you hear the words Ayodhya, Kurukshetra, Sita, Ravan, Hanuman, what comes to your mind?
Ramayana.
All right, Ramayana.
From Kurukshetra Mahabharat.
Kurukshetra is Mahabharat, right?
Okay.
Powerful characters.
Powerful characters, all right.
BJP.
Okay. I think religion is enough. Let's not go into politics.
Teamwork.
Teamwork, okay, interesting. Now, I'm sure some of us had a chance to re-watch these reruns in 2020 lockdown when Ramayana and Mahabharata was telecasted again on Doordarshan, and some of us did watch them this time as well. Now, I'm not going to recite the Ramayana and Mahabharata for you, but in a lot of life lessons, I look back at Indian mythology to give us context in terms of how we function, what we do. And the very small anecdotes and stories from Indian mythology that teaches a lot of things in history today. And that's what is said, right? History repeats itself in different forms. It's for us to not repeat those mistakes. It may not come in the same form, but it's about how we manage to navigate history, how we learn from history and move on from there. One of my special and favorite episodes or anecdotes from Indian mythology is the Samudra Manthan. Have any of you had a chance to hear about it?
There was a war between Asur and God and evil, basically.
Okay, okay. So Samudra Manthan basically means the churning of the ocean. That was an Indian mythological incident where it happened. I do not know how many years back, but let's not get there. That's not the point of context over here. It's basically the churning of the Indian Ocean, which led eventually resulted in the elixir of life being released by the ocean for the people around. Now, I'm not going to refer to the context completely in terms of it, but we'll see how our life revolves around it today. When I refer to the ocean refers to anything that we do today. It could be a professional journey, it could be a personal journey, it could be something you're passionate about. The entire spectrum of it refers to that ocean. For instance, look at Toastmasters. The clubs, the areas, divisions, the officers, the members together form that entire ocean, which is in the context over here. In my personal life, it could be the professional journey that I took, whether I was working in a corporate, whether in a startup, the career growth I wanted for myself, the career journey I wanted for myself. That is the ocean, the professional development I want for myself. So now in the Samudra Manthan, there are various characters and involved over here. If you see on my screen right now, you can see the ocean, the water body over there. That's the entire ocean around it. On top of it, you see there's a mountain placed over there. I'm hoping my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes.
All right. So one of the central characters in the Samudra Manthan is this mountain. Now the mountain is known as Mandara. That basically means concentration, awareness of your goal, what you want to accomplish, where do you want to get to, what do you want to do out of it. Right? That's the focus area. That's the final thing that you want to do. The center purpose of anything and everything. You want to be a club officer, you want to be the winner of WCPS, you want to become the district director, whatever you want to be. That mountain is the center focus of it, and that revolves around the ocean. The ocean is the entire journey, and there are people around it, the community around it. But this mountain is the center of it. In 2011, exactly 10 years back, I qualified as a chartered accountant. And that point in time, I was working with Ernst and Young. It's a pretty decent, corporate job at that point in time. I had a dream job, to be very honest. For almost 2 years, I had struggled in a small firm to move to a larger organization, and that's the Big Four consulting firm, Ernst and Young. But when I qualified as a chartered accountant, I probably wanted to look ahead. What is next in line for me? What is next in store for me? And that is when I started to think about entrepreneurship or starting up on my own, to be my own boss, to build my own business. And that is where the mountain was. The focus was to become an entrepreneur, to have the journey commenced over for myself. If I look at Toastmasters in 2016 when I joined, I just want to make friends because all my friends were getting married. So I had to make some new friends and find a new hobby for myself on a Sunday. And that's how Toastmasters happened to me. Rest is history. We'll listen to all of that in the next few minutes. But that is how my Toastmasters journey started. Just to do nothing. And 6 months later, I became a part of the club executive committee. Now, you see that mountain on the top of it, that's the center of focus around, all right? Now, in the Samudra Manthan, there are various other characters involved as well. The other major characters over here, if you see, are these people who are trying to pull across something. These are known as the Asuras and Devas in Samudra Manthan. Anyone wants to guess what does that probably mean in today's context? What do Asuras and Devas define today? Anyone want to chat, unmute yourself?
Balancing your priorities.
That's a good
Balancing your priorities.
Balancing your priorities. Okay, someone who drags you. Okay.
It's within ourselves, the good and bad thoughts
The good and bad thoughts. Asuras and devas are the two extremes of our thought processes. All right. Thank you so much, Anurag. It's the positive energy or the negative energy, you want to call it. You want to call the pros and the cons. You want to call the heart versus the brain debate. Whatever, however you want to term it. That's what I mean. There are the two extremes. Like someone mentioned, the good and the evil. All right. The two thought processes that we have around ourselves, and that's how the asuras and devas are defined. The two sides of the samudra of the mountain are balanced by these people, the asuras and devas. Now, in 2011, when I qualified as a chartered accountant, I wanted to move out to a startup journey. There were a lot of questions around in my life. It's a well-paying corporate job, Hardik. You have just been promoted. Why do you want to go into something so unknown when you don't know anything? It's a new idea, a new acquaintance, a new place to be at. You have no history, you have never done it. How will you manage to do it? On the flip side, if it works out really well, I could probably be in the front page news of some, $1 billion company or unicorn today. If it works out, I'll be my own boss. If it works out, people will remember me as the guy who was a chartered accountant and found a different journey for himself. All right. So that's the two ends, the two spectrums that we're talking about. In Toastmasters, some of us are not sure of taking up an XCOM role. What if members don't listen to me? What if I'm not as good a president as the previous one? What if I don't win the speech contest? Other side of it, what if you win the speech contest? What if your club becomes the diamond club for the first time in their history? What if the club goes beyond the regular journey? The questions are galore, but we keep questioning ourselves, and that's both the sides of it. Dasuras and Devas keep questioning yourself with the pros and the cons, the good, the bad, the heart, and the brain. Now, when you have these Asuras and Devas already in place on both sides of the mountain, all right, what next happens? Do you see there's a serpent surrounding the mountain? Yeah. Can you see the serpent surrounding the mountain?
Yes.
All right. So this is the serpent which surrounds the mountain. That's basically your desires and passions, which is going to churn the mountain from both sides. Both sides of your life, the good and bad, will keep churning your thoughts. Should I do this? Should I not do this? And that churn keeps happening for a very long time till you take the plunge. All right? Which side will the journey go? No one knows right now. But that serpent is your desire and your passion, which both the sides of it keep pulling each other. So my desire and passion that time was to be an entrepreneur, to be on my own standing and to move on with it. And I decided to take the plunge finally in 2013 when I started my first startup. It was named Theek Kardo at that point in time. Right? I left the corporate job. I left the security of the paycheck on the first and decided to do this. My thoughts probably pulled me towards doing that. In Toastmasters, I was XCOM. Then I took a break again. Then I happened to become an area director a year later. And that's how I'm like, let's do it. Let's figure out how it happens. Let's learn from others. Let's take it and go ahead. What is the worst that will happen, right? Well, the worst is yet to come, but we'll discuss that in a while from now. So that is how this journey happens. The serpent, your desires and passion pull and push each other around your thought processes. And that's a very important critical part of the Samudra Mantra. Now, if you see, when you start the pull and push that happens over here around the mountain between your Asuras and Devas, what happens next? Anyone wants to talk about it?
They got Amrit and Wish, the poison and the pure water out of it. After
Absolutely. So a lot of things start coming out of the ocean. Now, remember, the ocean is very huge, right? Will start giving you returns on your investment. It could be good or bad, we don't know. Remember, we had that question of pros and cons, Dasuras and Devas. We didn't know. Will it be good for us? Will it be bad for us? So the ocean will start throwing things out to us. It could be good, it could be bad, but normally, by default, the first few years are going to be the struggle period, the negatives, the challenges, the failures. In 2013, I joined the company in around January, and by October, November, I had to leave my startup. Difference of opinions with my partner, business not picking up well. I was 23 years old. I had exhausted all my capital. So I didn't really know where I was standing. I didn't know what I was doing. And that was the biggest negative I had. The first failure in my life at that point in time, that I quit a corporate job, was it the right decision? I'm staying miles away from my parents, taking an experiment with my life. Was it worth it? But it was all negative that point in time. What comes out at that point in time is called halal. That's basically poison. That's the negative part that comes out initially. Even in Toastmasters, I was an area director. The next year, the natural progression is to become a division director. So I ran for elections and I lost those elections at that point in time. That was my failure with the Toastmasters election. Whether am I doing the right thing? Do I deserve to be a district officer? All those questions keep asking you, right? Whether should I do this again? Whether should I not do this again? You keep questioning yourself, and that's where the halal comes in. But the best part over here in the case of Samudra Manthan, at the end of halal, is when Lord Shiva comes up and swallows that halal, the poison, in his throat. He knows he has to absorb it, but doesn't let that go inside his body. Because if it goes inside his body, he will die. He holds it at his throat, and that's why it's called Neelkant. And that's where our question also is in terms of that we will have failures, we'll have negativities, but what do you do after that is important. Will that weigh you down, or will you hold that at your neck, at your throat, and see a future for yourself? Find a different way ahead for yourself. And that's where halal is a very, very important. And that's where the next part of the Samudra Manthan story is extremely important. Next character that's going to be introduced is very important. At the bottom, if you see over here, we have a tortoise. It's called karma. Karma. It's a tortoise. It's basically the balance of contemplation. Now, for all of us know, tortoises or turtles for that matter, every few months they go within their shell, self-reflecting on their journey so far, self-introspection of what is happening around, self-realization of what I want to do ahead. You have already taken the plunge. In my startup journey, I took a plunge. In Toastmaster, I took a plunge. But what was next? In 2011, 13, when my startup failed, I took a few months off from work. It was the worst months of my life. I used to spend a lot of time in my bedroom staring at the fan rotating around, the tube lights flickering, not wanting to step out, growing that beard, the hair's very unkept, all of that. Okay? The typical things that happen after some people after a breakup, that happened to me after my business failed. Right? Very similar journey on those lines. But I took up the first job that came my way. I became a consultant at an education company. I just had to keep myself occupied without thinking too much. When I lost the elections in 2019 in Toastmasters, I took a self-imposed sabbatical for 3-4 months. I didn't attend meetings. I avoided a lot of the meetings. It were in person that time, so we had to actually travel. So I skipped all of that for a while. Understanding that why did I join Toastmasters? Was it to become a speaker, leader, communicator, network? What was I doing in Toastmasters? Every few years, remember, we have to question ourselves that are we on the track that we want to do? What is that? Remember, the mountain is very important over here. The mountain is still at the top. The mountain needs the balance. That's where the tortoise is. The tortoise is balancing the mountain. Your thoughts, your end result, your end product. And that's the tortoise over here. The balance and contemplation of our lives. Now, once you're past that stage of contemplation, you know your resolution that you want to go ahead, you want to proceed, you want to do what you're doing. And that is when the next stage comes in our life, is that of Amrit. If you've passed all these struggles, the positive, negative thoughts, the question that you ask yourself in your life, the poison, the negativity, the failures, the fear of being judged, the fear of being questioned by people, past the entire spectrum of all these gambit, that's when you will see the end result, the success, the Amrit, the elixir of life. This is when your success stories will be told to people. This is when you will probably share your journeys with everyone. They say that a decade of determination, perseverance, and efforts may look like an overnight success for people. I may be successful today, but no one looks at the last 10 years of journey that I went through. Today, my startup, when I started my next startup in 2016-17 by the name of Service Sati, on a very similar concept as the earlier one. 2 months back, I finally acquired the entire stake in the company and became an investor of the company now from just running it. At Toastmasters, the next year, I went on to win the division director elections, and the year after, the club go director elections. That's how the journey of success elixir, the purpose of enlightenment, the result of all the struggles finally comes to a conclusion. So that's the story of the Samudra Manthan. That's the story that it tells us that throughout our journey, we'll have the pros and cons. We'll have different anecdotes, different people coming our way. We'll have failures. We'll have struggles. We will have to find a balance for ourselves because you will have to swallow that halal. You'll have to swallow that poison. But remember, the poison has to be limited to your throat. You can't bring it down to your stomach. You will keep it, you will hold it, you will remember it. You will never forget it, but you will move on to success. Because at the end, it's about winning. It might come at 1 year, it might come at 5 years, it might come at 10 years. But at the end of it, you will get Amrit as long as your desire and passion keep churning the ocean between the Asuras and Devas, the positivity and the negativity. That's been my time. Thank you so much. Back to our presiding officer and club president, Pratibha Kamath. You're on mute, Pratibha.
Thank you, Hardik, for that interesting story on Amrit Manthan related to Toastmasters. And now, it will be a next gracious moment of unveiling our newsletter. Yes, newsletter, and that too in Bombay Toastmasters. Friends, it was our dream. We had newsletters few years back, and today on 350th meeting, milestone meeting day, again, we are restarting. We are having a special newsletter for this day. For this, I would like to invite someone who is related, no, who is invested, no, but associated with Bombay Toastmasters. Whenever something is there in Bombay Toastmasters, she's always there. She is the inspiration behind my power of pain. For every thing, whatever we do at Bombay Toastmasters, she always knows. Please welcome Toastmaster Sapna. Toastmaster Sapna, virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much and congratulations once again, Bombay Toastmasters for 350th milestone. And if you hear a lot of noises in the background, I think I can relate it that all my friends, my relatives are here to celebrate the milestone meeting, the 350th. So you can, they're all participating. So I was asking the Sergeant at Arms if we have drum rolls for this or not. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead, share my screen because drum rolls are more important since you guys have started after so long. You're going to release this. Let me know if this is audible. Okay, I'm just gonna, I hope this does not go to. All right, congratulations, and this is the newsletter. Remember to celebrate milestones as you prepare for the road ahead, and I hope that you celebrate million more milestones just like this. Probably, whether we are around or not around, BTM always. Long live Bombay Toastmasters. So I'm just quickly gonna go ahead. That's, we love you too, really, always. And that's our strategic Shivaji. Arvind is here. he's going to light up the stage tonight, or he's going to fire up the stage in the meeting today. We'll get to see. Can't you just say thank you? I'll just love reading this. Get lost. Parag, some beautiful artwork out here, I must say. Seriously, really loved it. Life and TR alike, it's all in how you make it. I'm actually looking forward to read all of these. Very interesting and catchy titles, I must say. It's My Life by Babu. Babu, why such a serious picture? Pratibha didn't let you give a smiling picture to be put up on the newsletter after long hour. Cherish your 1, 2, 3. Great going, guys. Congratulations once again. This is the newsletter, which I'm sure you will be receiving the link in your inboxes shortly. But great work. I'm really looking forward. It's a very beautiful newsletter. I'm looking forward to read it. And thank you so much, Pratibha, for giving me the opportunity to unveil it for you. Congratulations once again.
I would like to request Zoom masters to please spotlight Sapna, Avantika, Vasudev, Ankit together with the newsletter.
Congratulations, Avantika, Ankit, and Vasudev. I think brilliant work. Trust me, it looks beautiful, and please ensure that you keep releasing such beautiful and engaging newsletters. So congratulations once again.
Varun, can we click a group photo of this 5 editorial committee?
Already done, Pratibha.
Done. Okay, thanks. Thank you, Sapna. And that's really a great occasion, and especially you inspired us. Many, many thanks. Now, after a great Amrut Manthan, we have our Bhishma Pitamaha. Yes, he is our godfather, and he is our force behind Bombay Toastmasters, the someone who is Toastmaster of the day today. And I'm sure that he'll be telling us more about Bombay Toastmasters. Please welcome Toastmaster Arvind. Toastmaster Arvind, virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Pratibha. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. 3 men and a woman met to discuss and conceived the idea of forming a Toastmasters club. Demo meetings were held with help from Jayesh Anandpara, who was with TCS Maitri Toastmasters Club, the first club to be formed in Bombay, and Vijaya Montero, who chipped in when she came down for her holidays. Bombay Toastmasters was chartered on the 1st of February 2008 with Arun Vishwanath as the president. The club would hold meetings, the first one on a Saturday at the Trinity Academy in Kurla East, and the third one at a venue in Shivaji Park. Subsequently, the club would then meet at Bandra East, at Andheri and Mahim. When we were at Bandra East, there occurred a disaster. We were to hold the meeting in the evening, and there was a gentleman who was supposed to attend the meeting in the evening, and they were working with the hotel, which is just across the street. And he went to just find out where the venue is. And when he went there, he said he found that the whole building had been brought down. And so he sent me a message and says, which is the venue? Because I don't see a building there. It has been brought down. And so there was a frantic effort made to have the meeting that evening somewhere, somehow, because the authorities did not inform us, and we had already sent out and confirmed that we would be having a meeting that evening. And that's when the Toastmasters then found, and Bombay Toastmasters had their first outdoor meeting in BKC, in the Bombay Kurla complex area. And that was the time when we had Brilliant presenting his icebreaker speech. And we had fountains going up just at the time he said he was born. These were all uncalled for, unscheduled, but they all happened at the same time because we all also had a marriage party that was blasting and having its trumpets being blown. For members who already know, and for the guests who are attending here for the first time, let me tell you that the Toastmasters meeting takes place in 3 sessions. The first is the prepared speech. The second is the table topics round. And the third is the evaluation. To help with this meeting, we do have a couple of role players. Or each of these role players, I ask them a question. What is it that you like about Bombay Toastmasters? And each of them gave me a response. And I would like to now introduce them one by one. The first would be the grammarian, who finds that this helps with every member here is given an equal opportunity to speak and participate in the club activities. This has been the motivation for her to work hard and give her best. Please welcome Toastmaster Janvi to explain her role as the grammarian.
Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and dear guest. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to listen to everything said during the meeting and to note and report any particularly effective uses of grammar and or any grammatically incorrect speech. As a grammarian, it is also my task to present the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is rhapsodic, which means extravagantly enthusiastic or aesthetic. An example of the same would be the members were visually rhapsodic for the club's milestone meeting. Everyone is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'll give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called for. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Janvi. Our next role player likes the people here as she sees them passionate about what they do and bring the best to the table. Toastmaster Krati, please explain your role as the R-counter.
Thank you, sir, and good evening, everyone, and good evening, guests. Thank you for having me. I'm the R-counter for today, and the purpose of the R-counter is to help members become better speakers. And how do we do that? We basically listen to every speaker carefully and make a note of broadly 3 types of speaking errors. The first one is using words, filler words, or crutch words like actually, but, you know, well. So we generally use such words inadvertently in our speeches to buy time to think. The second type of error is long pauses. So they're not really a part of the sentence structure, but we inadvertently include it in our speeches. And the third type would be repetition. So for example, saying, I think, or this means. So I will basically make a note of these type of speaking errors during the speeches today and present my report. So best of luck to all the speakers. I hope all of you do well. Thank you.
Thank you, Krati. Our next role player lights the diversity of the club members. College students, professionals, corporate leaders, entrepreneurs, almost like a bouquet of beautiful flowers, he says. Please welcome Rajkaran to explain his role as the timer.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, my duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. So when the speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, I will change my background to green. It will look like this. When the speaker reaches the midpoint of the time allotted, I'll change my background to yellow. When speaker reaches the maximum time allotted, I will change my background to red. And there is 30 seconds grace period before the green and after the red. And when I called upon, I'll share my report. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Arvind.
Thank you, Rajkaran. Today being the 350th Milestone meeting, we will be having 4 speeches, and all of them would be the icebreaker speech. For the icebreaker speech, may I request Jairaj, who will be the evaluator for the first speech, to give the objectives and projects to let us know about the project objectives. Over to you, Anurag. Over to you, Jairaj.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Today, Toastmasters Sonena will be presenting her icebreaker for the strategic relationship L1. The purpose of this speech is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn basic structure of the speech. Timer, please note the time allotted to the speaker is 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Jairaj. She loved how she was welcomed into the club, assigned various roles which makes her feel involved and connected. Toastmaster Sunaina will be presenting her icebreaker. What's the secret? What's the secret, Toastmaster Sunaina?
Just a quick check. Am I audible and visible to you all?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. एक जिंदगी मेरी सौ ख्वाहिशां एक एक मैं पूरी करा एक जिंदगी मेरी सौ ख्वाहिशां मुश्किल हमें रोकना. Wait. Sorry. I forgot that I have been called up here to deliver my icebreaker and not to sing a song. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. My name is Sunaina Nagar. Yes, you heard me right. Not Suhana, not Simona, Sunaina, which means beautiful eyes. Shakespeare has said, what's there in a name? But often associated is one's identity to their name. You can't be Sunaina with these eyeglasses covering the beautiful eyes. And unfortunately, if you are one, then life is not easy for you, my friend. For most of part of my childhood, I was teased like, Aankh ka andha, naam nayan sukh. Well, one day I decided enough of this mocking. I have to do something about it. So I visited a doctor and he asked me to make some changes to my diet and eat soft badam and mishri powder every morning. I had a firm belief that this is going to work. I asked the doctor for how long, give me a timeline. He said 8 to 12 months. That day, I decided that in class 9th, I will not start my schooling with these glasses. And aha, I don't need this anymore. I always aspired to be that one well-known person wherever I go. And I kind of was interested to know why. Well, if this would have been a physical meeting, you would already know why. I'm so tall that even if one wants to ignore me, she cannot. I'm taller than average male height in India. Yes, that's true. Average male height in India is 5.8 and I am 5'10". I'm so tall that my sister used to mock me that one government job I'm definitely gonna get is to change light bulbs in municipality office. At college, I went to study Bachelor of Computer Application. But as usual, I wanted to do something better and stand out. So I joined Company Secretary, also known as CS. CS exams offer multiple attempts and are conducted twice a year, June and December. While my friends decided to take a trial attempt and see how the paper comes, I was determined that if I'm in it, then I'm going to give it my 100%. My result, anybody guesses? I scored exactly the minimum required score to qualify. Not a penny less, not a penny more. That was the time I had taken up reading as a hobby. And I read the book, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And while reading this book, it struck me that this is exactly what I have been doing for whole of my life, holding a strong belief in something that I want and attracting the same later. That is law of attraction, that everything starts with our thoughts. Fast forward 3-4 years, I landed a job and planned to move to Mumbai in April 2016. Since my childhood, I had always dreamt of coming to this city. My parents, though, were not ready to send me to the city, which was a bog and one where we had no relatives. I had to lie to them that I'm going just for 2 to 3 weeks and will come back soon. Being in Bombay was magical. Every day I was trying something new, learning something new, meeting extraordinary people. I had so much to learn and I was so overwhelmed that I informed my parents that there is no turning back now. Just one thought which was bothering me was that I don't want to get lost in this crowd. I wanted to make my mark being in the city of dreams. But this time I was aware to the power of law of attraction. Let's see how this belief has helped me in achieving few of my dreams in last 5 years. I hope you can see it. Newspaper interview, check. TV interview, check. Panelist at a conference, check. Top BFSI leaders, check. Own a house in a city like Mumbai, check. That's how strong law of attraction is. Now, if you remember the melody which I started, that was not something random. That is the secret of my life. What's yours? Thank you, and over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Sunaina. And now let us take 30 seconds to give our feed forward to Sunaina in the private chat. Let's move on to our next speaker. The next speech will be evaluated by Anurag. The objectives of the project remaining the same, which have already been read out. What he likes about the club is its credibility. Please welcome Toastmaster Ritesh, Reconsidering Myself, Toastmaster Ritesh.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Happy evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Ritesh Gupta, a plastic surgeon by profession, but a learner by habit. And today, it's an honor to continue my learning experience from you all respected Toastmasters and on this special 358th milestone meeting. To begin with, I was born in the same city of dreams, the very same year when a country had won its first World Cup. Incidentally, 28 years down the line, my son was born and we could fulfill Sachin's dream also. Now at present, my son is too small for Virat. Moving ahead, everything was fine till my 7th grade. We had that same eat, sleep, study routine. When one fine day, I discovered this old blue-colored book in my dad's scrap shop named Oxford Medical Dictionary. Now to understand this book, I took out some blood reports and jotted down the meaning of some of the terminologies in this and showed it to my doctor. My doctor casually smiled and told my dad, "Aapka beta doctor banega." My dad took those words very, very seriously. And friends, as a consequence, with 16 years of graduation, post-graduation, super specialty and fellowship, finally, I became a doctor. And now I have the right with that dialogue, lymphosarcoma of the intestine. Friends, I'm not only a doctor, but the only doctor in both the vertical and horizontal extent of both my near and distant relatives. And the ratio got doubled after my marriage. You see, there are advantages and disadvantages to this also. Take an example, my first injection. It was my uncle. That evening, he told my dad with his finger here, "Acha hai." Even now, when I go to my native, people greet me, but not with sweets. Their complaints and old medical reports. I tell them, "I'm a doctor, I don't treat all this." They tell, "Arey, but at least check our BP, boss." Coming to my strange relationship, it's a number. I was very active in managing this number 26 of this calendar. 26th of July, flood. 26th of November, Mumbai terror attack. I was in JJ that time. And finally, 26th of Feb, my marriage. And then I turned completely passive. Friends, something about plastic surgery. As a surgeon, we are allowed and even paid to use knife. And plastic surgery has many other weapons. Now after the what I do and what I am, coming to the why. Why am I here? It's because of my son. No, he's not done any big mistakes. It's just that when he was 3-4 years old, whenever I would reach home, he would greet me like Dada, Papa, or Chacha, Papa. He would utter my name later. I was not there for him. Whenever I would reach home, he was sleeping and I would leave before he woke up. But as he grew, I noticed that his behavior was just like me. The way he combed or dressed, or the way he entered the room and directly ran inside the kitchen for food even without changing his school uniform or socks. Or the feeling of self-conscious. Yes, he had that fear, just like me. Even now, I'm standing in front of you all at gunpoint. And I noticed that even he had that same habit, be it school's extracurricular activity or any other activity like swimming. He did not jump into that pool. Now, how do I tell my son that, son, don't feel embarrassed in front of the crowd if I don't do it myself? Now, how do I do it? So finally, with this icebreaker speech, I decided to reconsider myself. Now, at this point of time, I realize that I belong to the crowd and the crowd belongs to me. It's just that we have to take one deep breath and speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritesh. And may I now ask our members to please give your feed forward to Toastmaster Ritesh in a private chat. Let's take 30 seconds for that. And whilst you are at that, we'd like to deviate a bit. Two wonderful speeches that we've heard. So let's pepper it a little with a performance by one of our members. Inviting Avantika Sood onto the virtual stage.
I'll just check if it's audible.
Yes. Yes, it's audible.
उड़ जा काले कावा तेरे मुंह विच खंड पावा ले जा तू संदेशा मेरा मैं सदके जावा बागों में फिर झूले पड़ गए पक गई मिठियां अंबियां ये छोटी सी जिंदगी ते रात लंबियां लंबियां ओ घर आजा परदेसी कि तेरी मेरी एक जिंदड़ी ओ घर आजा परदेसी कि तेरी मेरी एक जिंदड़ी चुप ना जाओ जी, मन जीत कराओ जी, अरे क्यों तरसावे हो, मन शकल दिखाओ जी, हर शरारत सब जानू मैं तो धरी, हर सले उन्हें बंगा जी मैं कह लगे, मर कीड़ा में जागी दो कणी चंदा में थारी चांदनी मन दामन में बात भी खुशी रे झूम 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 हमारे कीड़े में जागी दो कणी चंदा में थारी चांदनी मन दामन में बात भी खुशी रे झूम 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 झूम.
Thank you, Avantika, for that graceful dance. And now let's move on to the next speech. To evaluate the next speech, we have Toastmaster Sudha. And the speaker likes the environment of a supportive family, which the founder members have created, and the legacy continues, he says. Calling Toastmaster Parag, finding Parag, Toastmaster Parag. Toastmaster Parag, where are you? It's time for you to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I audible?
Yes, wherever you. Lost in the dance?
A similar incident happened many years back. I think it was the first semester of my 5th standard in school. My parents received a letter from the principal saying that I had not completed 75% of attendance in class. My mom glared at me. I said, Mom, you know I went every day to school. But my friend, he piped in. You know, auntie, when the teacher calls out his name during attendance, he doesn't reply. He is lost somewhere. Most of my childhood, I was lost. Lost in my dreams. I was born in Pune in a small cottage. I can't see any fountain going up brilliant. Anyway, my childhood was literally rhapsodic. The small cottage had a garden and a play area around it. As kids, my younger sister, brother, and me had all the space in the world to prance around and run. But that world I converted into a world of make-believe, a world of magic, a world where giants, witches, wizards, pixies, and dragons existed. And these characters helped me build and helped me weave stories, tall stories which I could tell other people. There was a small shack in the garden where I used to conduct all my clandestine experiments. I used to burn paper, rubber, wood, and mix all sorts of substances to try create some kind of invention. There's so many crazy things I did in my childhood. For example, I used to fill a drum with water and sit in it reading comic books throughout the summer. I was very lucky that my parents didn't expect great marks for me. But my mother's favorite joke was, do you know why Parag has seen all the last bus stops of the bus routes he travels? Do you know? Because he doesn't remember to get down at the right stop. Ha ha ha. But as I grew up, I slowly started putting my dreams onto paper in the form of drawing and painting. And I still do with watercolors. After I passed 10th standard, I entered this science stream. But now I was lost in this mundane world of science and maths, which I hated. I became a backbencher and used to sketch fighter planes in my notebook. And as expected, one day the teacher caught me by my neck and threw me out of class. I somehow passed my 12th standard. And then I told my dad, Dad, I can't do this anymore. Please find something which I like. Please. Finally, one day, God answered my prayers. My uncle called me out of the blue and said, Parag, there is a college where you can learn art and also make money out of it. I said, wow, this is amazing. Finally, the boy who was lost found a place where he could realize his dreams. My 5 years in Sir J.J. Institute of Applied Art, I passed with flying colors because I liked what I was doing. And to top that, I met my partner in crime, my better half, who I married soon after I finished college. We have a son who has also fulfilled his dreams by becoming a pilot. And recently, there was an addition to the family, my daughter-in-law. After I passed out of JJ, we started a creative agency in a small garage in Vileparle. My company Trinity is now 33 years old, but I haven't stopped dreaming. I still dream, but of creative concepts and designs for the advertising media. My office cabin I have converted into a toyland. More than 200 toys and figurines adorn the shelves, and they inspire me. They fire my imagination to do something out of this world. In 2010, I joined Toastmasters, and it has helped me immensely to present my creative concepts to my clients in a much, much better way. Finally, when I thought I had finished my life goals, rather some of them, we decided to give it back to the society. So we started a foundation called Mumbai Art by Artists, where we give a platform to underprivileged artists to showcase their work. You know what? The man who inspires me the most, Mr. Walt Disney. He said, if you can dream it, you can do it. But to add to that, I say you should get lost in your dreams. Then only you can find what you want. Isn't it? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Never stop dreaming. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Parag. Now that we found you after 4 years, you're giving a speech. Well done. Let's take 30 seconds to give Parag a feed forward in the private chat. Our next speaker, the speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ankit. Our next speaker feels that our next speaker likes Bombay Toastmasters because the members are helpful and she is understanding new concepts. Toastmaster Sonal, in the Himalaya, Toastmaster Sonal.
Thank you. So I will start my story. I am leading an active life like most people do. I am full-time working mom as well as a career woman. I'm a health freak. I love to travel. I love to travel in mountains, valleys, and in within India. I have an adventurous trek in my life. Hence, I wanted to climb Everest Base Camp. I trained myself for 2 years for that. And finally, in May 2017, I started my journey to base camp in Rukla, where uh, my hello, sorry, when my trek started. Uh, I saw the magnificent mountains ranges, and I was awestruck by that. I felt so small compared to the Himalayas. I as if a I was a small speck of dirt on the in that universe. The trek was smooth. We took 2 days to acclimatize ourselves. I was so happy. After that, we started our journey. I saw the uh, streams flowing down and trickling to the valley. I felt as if it was a heaven for me. I was crossing seven bridges where uh, it was hanging over the valley. It was the standard uh, flags over the uh, on the bridges. It was running over the bridges. The trek was treacherous, although I was happy being there. The beauty around me was filled, as, although I was part of that beauty. I didn't see any flowers, nor the uh, uh, green, lush green, but I saw the snowy mountain peaks. And finally, one day in morning, I was able to see the Everest peak, and it was so much brighter. It was golden yellow. I couldn't imagine that, and I was enthralled by that. After that, I was thinking about the people who went to climb the Everest peak, and I was thinking about people who returned back. What is the count of the number of people who came home? So it was a very few. I was thinking about what was their psyche upon reaching the top. Uh, did they achieve their goal, or did they achieve something else? Or what exactly they felt after reaching the top? Those questions were there in my mind, but I did not think. I told myself, no, today I will not think about these questions. Today, let me reach my final destination now. On the way to the base camp, I saw many small temples. It was a reminder for us as a trekkers that God was there with us. I thought, I never thought about the spirituality aspect of being there. It was in the zone of us, sorry, I was in the zone being unattached with anything. I was so I saw so many wild animals. I felt their life is so simple, unlike human being. The human being has complex life. We do it unnecessarily. This experience of being in mountain, I was beginning to understand myself well in the different light. I felt first time ever in that moment I was alive. Back then my life was my career, my son, my family, my friends. I was not thinking about anything else. In that moment, I was thinking about uh, other aspect of life. And that moment, I realized that life is not just job, my friends. It is other aspect, other facet of life. And I was able to discover that aspect of the other facet of life. I was able to I was able to self-discover in that moment, in that mountain, and in that Himalaya. I was able to discover myself this way. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sonal. May I now invite the timer to give the timing report?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Arvind. So here is a report of the time taken by each speaker. So Sunaina took 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Ritesh took 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Sonal took 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And as always, Paraz has been lost. So he took 6 minutes and 46 seconds. So and he was enjoying the moment. So no worries. And kudos to everyone. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Rajkaran, for that precise timing. The 350th meeting of the Bombay Toastmasters is rather a rhapsody, and we are enjoying every moment of this meeting. The club has moved forward because of being in the able hands of the following presidents over the years: Arun Vishwanath, Nazir Usman, Brilliant SK, yours truly, Sunil, Parag, Bhushan, Hasnain, Anand, Manish, Pratibha twice, and Babu. We've also had illustrious members who have gone on to make a name elsewhere. We have had Mudit Yadav, who is a TED speaker and a success coach. We have had Aditya Jaikumar, who has moved to Canada and is now a Canadian citizen. He has a podcast, My 7 Chakras. We have had Parul Banka, who is a cancer survivor and is based in the UK. We have had Rukmini Iyer, who is an alumni of the Rotary Peace Foundation. Those were some of the achievers. And as we continue with the meeting, we've had members here who have been directors, district directors, and various other directors in the district as well. And one such person we've just had as the area director is somebody who likes Bombay Toastmasters, where he grew from being a one-time Nazareth speaker at 20 to a mature speaker at 45, a member since the last 8 years. He thanks Sunil Agarwal and me to have become a nerd with a fetish for the English language. Please help me in welcoming Toastmaster Manish Kamdar, who would now play the role of the table topic master, which will be our second section of this meeting. Over to you, Manish.
Thank you so much, Arvind, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Just over 8 years ago, September 14th, 2013, that is 8 years and 4 days ago, is when I walked into Bombay Toastmasters as a guest and then went on to become a member. Little did I know then that someday I would be attending the 350th meeting of the club. As a Toastmaster, I've had opportunities for speaking at or hosting events outside of Toastmasters. Sunil once recommended my name as a compere for a musical program. It was there that I got to meet some like-minded people who were equally passionate about R.D. Burman, or Panchamda as we call them, and we formed a group called Pancham Pagals. I was the default compere for the events we organized, and once I sang too. The audience may not have been rhapsodic, but didn't bombard me with rotten tomatoes or eggs. I then took to singing my renditions of Kishore Kumar and R.D. Burman numbers, be it as a part of Pancham Pagals or at my club. Thank you, BTM, for the opportunities provided directly or indirectly. Let us now see who grabs the opportunities today to participate in one of the most interesting and exciting portions of a Toastmaster meeting, the table topic session. At Toastmasters, we have a tradition getting as many people to speak in a meeting as possible. It is a platform to get not just the members, but also the guests to speak. The purpose of table topics is to have members practice listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking on their feet. The skill of speaking on your feet will help you throughout your work career and also will be valuable in your home life. I have prepared a few topics today that hopefully will help you reminisce about your childhood. But before that, may I request the timer, Toastmaster Rajkaran, to read out the timing guidelines, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish. So for table topics, there is minimum allotted, 1 minute is the minimum time allotted. So when the speaker reaches the minimum allotted time, that is 1 minute, I'll display or I'll change my background to green. And when the speaker reaches to 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll change it to yellow. And when the speaker reaches to the maximum allotted time, which is 2 minutes, I'll change the background to red. So there is 30 seconds grace period after the red card. So when called upon, I'll share the report for the timings. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
Thank you, Rajkaran. It is important to remember that once you have seen the green card, you have met your goal and you can start ending your talk. Curious you are, right? So let's get started. Share my screen. Okay. Congratulations, everyone. We are 350 meetings old, and it's indeed a matter of pride. So now, who would like to pick up? Someone raise your hand. I'm sorry, I can't see hands raised. So someone will help me with the names, and I can ask them to pick a number. Anyone?
Yeah, you can call me.
I'm sorry, I can't see you. I can't. So you'll have to name yourself. Yeah. Go on.
I'm Natarajan. I thought you can see
Oh,
me.
Natarajan. Hi. I can't see anyone. I can only see my screen, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm not a Zoom expert. Natarajan, okay. Pick a number from 1 to 10.
1.
1. Telephones, have they changed lives? telephones, have they changed lives? Natarajan.
Yeah, so thank you, Toastmaster Manish, for giving me that wonderful topic. I think telephones have played a very important role in our lives. Like I can think of my own evolution as a Toastmaster. So I joined the Bombay Toastmasters when it was about 2012 November or something, and that time Arvind was the BPM. So I remember using the telephone once to have a go at him when we were supposed to meet as usual in Mahim. Those days we used to meet in Mahim. And I found out that the meeting had been shifted to Prabhadevi, and I got to know after half an hour of waiting in Mahim that the meeting has moved to Prabhadevi. So from then till now, I think the role of the phone in Toastmasters has really changed. So I'm attending a Toastmaster meeting using the phone today. And not only is it my first meeting of BTM, attending my first BTM meeting wearing a t-shirt, it's also my first meeting of BTM wearing shorts. So that kind of courage will only come if I use the phone. Also, this is the first meeting of BTM where I've seen Arvind present and people use words of Hindi. So that kind of courage will of course come through the telephone, because Arvind's gaze in person will just scare the member present. So yeah, but jokes apart, I think in the pandemic era, the phone has really evolved. So the company I work for, I mean, we have offices in the US, multiple of them. We have my manager sits in the UK. He's probably one of the 2 or 3 people who's there, and the rest of my colleagues sit in Pune. So the fact that I have my company email ID configured on my phone helps me check Google Chat and things like that. And yeah, I mean, it was through the phone that I connected with Toastmaster Manish today and said, hey, I want to attend this meeting. And it's through the phone now that I even informed on our BTM, WhatsApp group, which obviously I would not like to name because it's a boys group and you know what happens there. But it's on that group that I informed some of our DTMs from BTM to actually join. I don't know how many of them have joined here. So the power of the phone is huge, and the fact that we're able to communicate here today really indicates that, yeah, great going thanks to the telephone. So over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
Thank you, Natarajan. Thank you so much. Who's next? Sorry, I can't see anyone. So if someone has raised the hand. Okay. Our counter, Krati. Okay, Krati, pick a topic from 2 to 10.
I'll go for 9.
Fitness, a fad then or now? Fitness, a fad then or now? Toastmaster Krati.
I think fitness has been something which is omnipresent across ages, across decades, across eras. All of us, it's really important for all of us to stay fit because it enhances our productivity to another level. And when I say staying fit, it not just means physical health, it means mental health also. Like WHO has defined well-being as both mental and physical. And I think we were witnessing people at Olympics who are backing out because of mental issues, or people performing great feats because they have great mind control. So I think if one is at the peak of their physical and mental health, we can achieve the most of human potential. And we can make the most of things, even something as simple as a morning walk early in the morning, even if it's for 20 minutes every day, it can make a lot of difference to your life. And it can make a lot of difference to your thoughts, because thoughts create our world. They make a difference to what's happening to us and the kind of circumstances that we attract in our life. So both the things balanced well together can help us achieve feats that we've never ever imagined. So fitness has always remained priority, no matter where you are in the time zone. It's of utmost importance above everything else, which helps you serve your family, your society, your friends, and everyone around you, and make people happy. So thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krati. We now have Bhagyashree. Bhagyashree, you can pick a number from 2 to 10 except for 9.
I'll pick 6.
6.
Bhagyashree, can you come on camera, please, for the table topic?
Actually, I have a poor network. I'll try just in case. If the if I have to stop in between, please pardon me for that.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So what is it?
Bhagyashree,
Sorry. Yeah.
Bhagyashree, your topic is shopping, a changed experience. Shopping, a changed experience, Bhagyashree.
Yeah. Thank you for the topic. This is the topic which I like the most, shopping. So before pandemic, we have to take that effort to go to shops and buy the clothes. But I am glad that during this pandemic, we have shifted a lot to online shopping, because of which I can shop later, 12 in the night or 3 in the night, or even during the day while working, we're taking breaks. So I believe the shopping has changed a lot and it has increased the market. And yeah, we can get multiple products at one place. That is a one big change, but I believe is uh, something which helps me a lot. Otherwise, I have to go to 10 different shops to buy 10 different products. But here I can do it within an hour, getting all my, cart filled and bought, all thanks to my dad's credit card, obviously. I guess that's it from my end. This is the first session I'm attending, and I just give it a try. And thank you, everyone. That's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Bhagyashree. Next, who else? Or do I have to pick someone?
Vishal Garg has raised his hand.
Vishal?
Yeah, Manish, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. You can pick a number.
I'll pick number 7.
I'm sorry.
I'll pick number 7.
7.
Oh my God, I was a disaster.
Okay. 7. Vishal, your topic is trolling. Letter to the editor or social media. Trolling. Letters to the editor to social media. Vishal.
So in recent times, we might have witnessed that there's a lot of trolling that takes place on social media platforms. Be it Instagram, be it Facebook, there are young ones who keep on trolling others, and there are times when people do troll be it social media influencers and at times the celebrities also. But is it a good thing to troll? That is the main question, and that is the thing that we should be asking ourselves, because it can impact someone's life in a negative way. But these things carry on, these things go ahead, and we do try to troll at times to people who are not in alignment with our belief, with our mindset, and that should not be the case. So in regard to social media trolling, what can be done is there can be certain regulations which can be implemented by the companies or by the owners of the social media platforms, so that these things don't happen. And there can be certain restrictions certain restrictions in terms of, let's say, filtering out of the content by the platforms themselves, so that there can be a reduced impact of these trollings on the social media platforms. And as it can impact the life of an editor, so that is what it should be. Let's try to minimize the impact of trolling so that we can make lives better around us.
Thank you, Vishal. May I request Rahil Hussain to come up? Rahil, you can pick a number from 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 10. Rahil. Okay. Anyone else would like to go for it? Let me pick someone now. Old hands. Someone who met after a long time. Where's Sachin Biani? Is he there? Looks like easy. Okay.
Ask
Okay.
Pradeep Waghela to speak.
Pradeep Waghela, can you pick a number? Pradeep?
Hello?
Pradeep, your voice is very faint.
Hello, now
Yes.
I'm audible, sir?
Yes, now you are audible. Thank you. So you can pick a number from 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 10. Pradeep, pick any number.
Yes. Number 10, sir.
Number 10. Okay. Pradeep, your topic is from healthy homemade food to Swiggy and Zomato. From healthy homemade food to Swiggy and Zomato.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving me such a nice topic. Generally, people prefer the fast foods in nowadays because of their traveling and their schedules to go outdoors. But the importance of healthy foods in our life is very important because of that we stay fit and we work efficiently. But if we use the but fast food is very easy to carry to our traveling, and it is easy to eat while traveling. So that's that is all, sir, because I do not get anything about this topic.
Okay. Thank you, Pradeep. May I request one more participant to come up? We are done with 5 people. Anurag. Okay, Anurag, you have raised your hand. Go ahead. Pick a number. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8.
5.
5. Okay. Anurag, your topic is education, the COVID effect. Education, the COVID effect. Anurag.
Thank you, sir. Education, the COVID effect. So education has changed drastically from the time, or I'm just comparing with the era where where we all are coming from. So we have to go to school every day, sit in the school, almost like it's like 7-8 hours we all used to spend in school, and rest of the hour outside playing when we used to go home and then sleep. That was the schedule we used to have in our uh, daily lifestyle. But looking at the current situation, because of the COVID, uh, it has completely changed. It is no longer student or any of like kid have to go to school physically. They can get all kind of wisdom, knowledge, education, everything sitting at one place at their home or anywhere. Even if they are not at home traveling, they just need to have internet connectivity, go online and get everything whatever they need to know in terms of their education or anything apart from the education knowledge, extra knowledge, which is readily available, which was not the case when like 10 years, or in fact 5 years back it was not the case. So this thing has changed. So we have pros and cons, I would say. It was Now it is sitting at one place getting all the knowledge, compared to the different time when we used to go to school and interaction was more, social connectivity was more compared to today's time. So it is good in a way, but again every good thing comes with some uh, disadvantages, I would say. That's all, sir, from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Anurag. I think we are running behind time, so can we take some more, Arvind, or should we?
Can
call
we
it
have
a-
one last person?
One. Okay, yeah, great. So
Maybe
one
Pallavi.
last person.
Maybe Pallavi.
Yeah, okay, Pallavi. Pick a number. Pallavi, are you there? Pallavi does not seem to be on
mute.
Okay. So can we have Riddhi?
Hello.
Yeah. Riddhi, you can pick a number.
1.
1 is already taken. So
Oh, sorry.
it's 2, 3, 4, and 8.
2.
2. Okay. You have my favorite topic. From R.D. Burman to A.R. Rahman. From R.D. Burman to A.R. Rahman. Riddhi.
I got to know in one of the meetings that R.D. Burman is your love, Manish. So I don't know why did you pick up this one. So for me, I haven't really listened to R.D. Burman that much, but I know few of his songs and it's really good. Like A.R. Rahman is kind of our generation's love. So both are genuinely not comparable, but I did see A.R. Rahman in one of the shows, reality shows, and I could make out that he was a very genuine person, down to earth. Whatever he knows is on his face, like he'll be very vocal about it. He'll speak very less, but that very less also makes sense. So first when I was really small, this Slumdog Millionaire was really famous, that India is getting an Oscars. That is the time I actually understood what Oscar is, and I actually googled and everything. But since then I've listened to his songs, and some of his songs are like Ma Tujhe Salam and everything. It's like something that I'll never forget. So both of their contribution is very good for our industry and for all the people listening to the songs, because music always connects with the heart and makes you feel good. So you feel rhapsodic, to be precise. So I think both of them were needed, and both of them make us feel good listening to their songs. So I just wish them all the luck and more good things to come in their life. Thank you.
Thank you, Riddhi. Just for your information, recently the iPhone 13 was launched, and the guitar that is played is R.D. Burman's music. So we in our groups, we went mad about it. That because for the second time, the iPhone XR was also launched with R.D. Burman's music, and iPhone 13 also. So we believe Tim Cook is going to join the R.D. Burman fan club.
Yes.
So anyway, going on, may I request our timer, Rajkaran, to give us the report for the timings of the table topics.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish. So here is the table topic timing reports. Natrajan took 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Krati took 1 minute and 36 seconds. Bhagyashree took 1 minute. Vishal took 1 minute and 32 seconds. Pradeep took 45 seconds. So Anurag took 1 minute and 58 seconds. Pallavi took 1 minute and 44 seconds. So barring Pradeep, everyone is like within the time limits. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
Thank you so much, Rajkaran. So thank you all for participating in the table topic session. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And with that, I'll hand it over back to Arvind to take the proceedings forward.
Thank you, Manish. Wonderful topics. And I should say it was in keeping with the theme for today, then and now, and all that they spoke was in between. Let the rhapsody continue. And for that, we would have somebody who likes the structured approach that is followed in the Bombay Toastmasters, and the flexibility of the members to back up each other when the need arises. I now welcome Vikram on the virtual stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arvind. So I was thinking which songs I should pick up because we have all the age groups here, and I know there are some diehard Kishore fans. So I picked up songs starting with Arijit Singh's Hum Tere Bin Kahin Reh Nahi Sakte, and then a couple of Kishore Kumar and Mukesh songs. So it's a mashup that I'm going to play. Hope you'll enjoy. I hope I'm audible. One second, sir. I hope my guitar is audible. हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा, तुझसे जुदा अगर you. I think my time is over. I think I'm just on time. I hope you all enjoyed the music. I think Arvind, you are on mute.
भाइयों और बहनों, अब अलविदा कहने की वक्त नहीं है, आया है, अब कुछ बाकी है दोस्तों, तो चलिए आगे. The club, I said last that we met at Mahim, but we did have our ups and downs, and next we moved to PTVA at Ville Parla. That was the physical meetings that we used to have. And 2 years ago, 2019, when we were to have our contest, there was a dilemma whether we should have it as a physical contest or online. But we stuck to the physical contest, conducted the contest, and then we went into online meetings from then. We're now on online meetings. We've learned how to do it. We have maneuvered ourselves, and we're doing it wonderfully. So that's the now part of it. And let us continue getting into the third section of the meeting. And for that, I would like to have somebody who says the presence of experienced Toastmasters who guide in conducting effective meetings and providing useful feedback for improvement is what he likes about Bombay Toastmasters. Please welcome the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Anand Kumar.
Thank you, Arvind. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So are you all enjoying the meeting today? I'm really feeling rhapsodic, mainly because I see a lot of members whom I have not met since a long time. Presence of several district officers, the theme, and wonderful speeches. So all have become an excellent package. So I'm really enjoying every bit of it. Coming back to evaluation, this is known as the heart of Toastmaster education. The objective of anybody playing leadership role or speaking, improving speaking skill, the objective is to keep on improving, keep on doing better, right? And that's what Toastmaster is made up for, where we use this as a lab, we perform various roles, we deliver different speeches and get feedback which will help us do better. So this is what we are going to do in this session. So we'll have two sections to this. One would be evaluation of speeches delivered by different speakers. So there are evaluators who have taken notes, what went well, what didn't go so well, and what could be improved. And then we'll talk about overall meeting along with the performance of each and every role player, which everybody has done wonderful today. So I'm very glad to be present here today. Well, before we start the speech evaluations, I'll request the timer to mention the timing guideline for the evaluations.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. So for evaluations, there is a minimum time allotted as 2 minutes. So when the speaker reaches 2 minutes, I'll change my background to green. And when the speaker reaches the midpoint, I'll change my background to yellow. And when the speaker reaches the maximum time allotted, that is 3 minutes, I'll change the background to red. So there is 30 seconds grace time before the green card is in the background and after the red card is in the background. So when called upon, I'll share the timing reports, and over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you, Rajkaran. So I would like to invite the first evaluator who's going to evaluate first speaker speech, that is Sunaina's speech. So can we welcome Jairaj on the stage?
General evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Sumaina in particular. Sorry, Sunaina. So I must ask you, what is the secret of having such a melodious voice? Because if I start singing now, then definitely BTM members will start leaving the meeting. You had stories about your speech. You had stories in the speech, and humor also you added. And whenever it was required, you took the pauses, the level of tone, the voice modulation. It was perfect. And I also heard somewhere, like from my seniors, whatever we throw in the universe, we receive it. So you are the true example of it. And if I would like to give you a name, then you will be the secret superstar. Definitely, because our BTM members are really secret superstars, as everyone has their own talent. Some recommendations I would like to add. From the start, you were really confident, and even at the end, but in the middle, I found somewhere you were having some nervousness in you, and that will be overcome easily, as we are not habitual to the cameras facing, and it will be how we can overcome it by you can do video recording while giving the speech, and you can practice on it, and you can watch it later on. By this, you can overcome it. Overall, it was a great speech, and I really felt that engaged in the speech. And now I am really rhapsodic to know more on the law of attraction. Over to you, General.
Thank you, Jairaj. Now I'd like to invite second evaluator who's going to evaluate Ritesh's speech. Please welcome Toastmaster Anurag.
When I told my doctor about my loss of memory problem, he immediately made me pay in advance. I hope Dr. Ritesh won't do that with me. Good evening, everyone, and Dr. Ritesh especially. What I really liked about this speech was the opening. In the beginning itself, Dr. Saab set the stage on fire and put smile on my face. I should address him actually, doctor with humor. Seen very few doctor with this kind of humor. I actually have not seen. Hand movement, expression, everything was wonderful. Language and content delivery was good, confident, and he knew what he was talking. The transition was subtle. It went from one subject to another subject seamlessly. He touched upon different aspect of his life. It went smooth. I like this modulation. Speech was filled with energy, and you looked rhapsodic. Humor took over surgery equipments, I must say. I kept smiling during his entire speech. Thank you, Dr. Sir. Recommendation few I have. Notice little bit of nervousness. I'm sure you can work on it, and with practice, it'll be better. May need to take small pause. Example, when you mention about your son, so you need to take a small pause. That's all. One thing I noticed. If I have to summarize this speech, I really liked it. Overall, it was flawless. Uh, he was in comfort and enjoying the every bit of this speech. That's all from my side. Thank you. Over to you, General Water.
Thank you, Anurag. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite our next evaluator who's going to evaluate Parag's speech. Please put your hands together for Madam Toastmaster Sudha.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Anand. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, future Toastmasters, and in particular, my speaker, Toastmaster Parag. When we started this speech and we were wanting to hear Parag speak, he put us in a dilemma, whether it was a voice problem, whether it was a technical glitch, he was not listening to us. And Arvind made it more complicated by calling him out because they are friends anyway. So for a second, I actually thought there was a technical glitch. But knowing Parag and his mischief nature, I understood this was the way he wanted to begin a speech. Kudos to that, Parag. As they say, creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes, and art is knowing which ones to keep. Your whole story was about that. It was actually an introduction for all of us to know how creative people are so different from normal people, how their minds are different. The society needs to accept that such thoughts, such personalities have to blossom to keep the creativity and art alive in society. I just loved your speech. I love the way you gave us an open welcome into your life and how we were taken through your childhood, your birth, your pranks, your plays, your clandestine activities, and also the sweet mistakes that you make, which make you such a great artist. I have been fortunate to see some of his work, and I must say, he's just too brilliant. Now I know what it takes to become a great artist. You are very fortunate that you are in a vocation where you are earning money and also enjoying it. That's why it seems like a vacation, isn't it, Parag? So if I have to really go through your speech in terms of what uh, I liked the most was your introduction, your way to take us through your life, which was the objectives of the speech. And I think you also made us very comfortable and you made us feel very warm and relatable to a lot of instances, which made the audience connect to you at a very core level. Now, if I have to give you a couple of suggestions, I mean, you are a mentor for so many people, so I don't know what I can give you as a suggestion, but yes, definitely, there is always a scope for improvement. So I felt that there were moments when I thought you were losing your enthusiasm. Your enthusiasm is something which is infectious. When we meet you in person, was not there probably today. And other than that, it was a fantastic speech. And I'm so happy that you've started with Pathways. I want to see you doing more speeches. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Parag. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sudha. So Parag's vocation is vacation. Good one. Okay, so now is the time to invite the next evaluator, the last speech delivered by Sona. So please welcome Toastmaster Vasudev.
Ankit.
Ankit. Okay, Ankit is going to evaluate. So please welcome Toastmaster Ankit.
One of the questions I'm often asked by any person who I meet for the first time: are you a beach person or a mountain person? Now, this choice of question, I believe, is of no relevance to a Mumbaikar. But dear General Evaluator, Toastmasters and guests, Toastmaster Sonal did force me to give this question a serious thought. Toastmaster Sonal, firstly, kudos on your attempt to scale the Mount Everest and congrats on reaching the base camp of the Everest of public speaking. I particularly liked your rhapsodic style of describing your mountaineering experience. Your natural style of storytelling transported me to the Everest base camp. In between those bridges, in between that beautiful valley, sensing around the snow. And also, I particularly loved that how your experience changed your outlook towards life and other relations. As this is your first speech, I prefer not being harsh on the recommendations part, but as a challenge in future, something that could improve your speaking skills. You may love to include gestures and voice modulations in your speech, which shall be a jewel in the crown of the storytelling you already possess. All in all, if I would love to conclude your entire speech in one line, was that a beautiful speech, a beautiful personal story expressed with the proper amount of storytelling. The only missing icing on the cake was your gestures and voice modulations. And trust me, if you include those, you will have the most beautiful speech to be delivered. That's all from my end. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Ankit. I would request the timer to give the timing report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. As we are running short on time and we are already 20 minutes late, so I'll keep it short. So all are qualified and within timelines. Thank you, and over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So can I request Zoom Master to put that link in the chat box so that all the evaluators, the voting could be done?
There will be no voting, I guess, today.
There's no voting today.
Okay, fine. Okay, thanks. All right. So let's welcome the grammarian of the day to submit or explain her grammarian report. So please welcome the grammarian.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So there was some misusage of words, like leave a mark and not mark a leaf. It should be compared to the Himalayas and not compared Himalayas. There was some excellent usage of words, like the reference of the secret book for law of attraction. Then the reference which was of the date 26, which was made with 3 varied events. The usage of word childhood was rhapsodic, as well as clandestine experiments, lost in mundane world of science and maths, fired my imagination, feet forward. There was a good description of streams and valleys. Reminisce about childhood. Gaze in person will scare. People performing great feats. In alignment with belief and mindset. Vocation is vacation. And last, reference of base camp to Everest pathway. I would also like to say that the word rhapsodic was used for 7 times. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Janvi. Now somebody who is going to help us improve on our clutch words, as, etc. So please put your hands together for our counter of the day, Toastmaster Krati.
Thank you, sir. I think the stories were flawless. So in fact, I got so lost in the stories that I sometimes forgot to keep tracks. I was trying to focus my mind on that. So Toastmasters, Sunaina, Ritesh, Parag, and Sonal, brilliant stories. And they were almost flawless. Sunaina used 1 1 but, and 1 so, which can easily be rectified. Ritesh, so was flawless. I didn't find many crutch words that were used. Parag, so 1 1 but, 1 which is pardonable. And Sonal, very, very inspiring story. The story was told in such an awesome manner. Just a few here and there, if that can be taken care of, I think the storytelling bit was brilliant. Coming to the table topics section, again, the use of arms increased here by all the speakers on an average because we had to think on our feet. But everybody, Natarajan sir, Bhageshri, Vishal, Anurag, Pradeep, Riddhi, everybody was under 7 when it came to arms. But when it comes to thinking on our feet, if we can consciously control our arm usage, it will be helpful. The evaluators again were almost flawless. Anurag sir and Ankit were flawless, hardly any usage of crutch words. Jairaj used a couple of R's, And Sudha ma'am also once so went to us. So I think the first few speeches and the evaluator speeches were almost flawless. So great job, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karthi. All right, so now is the time for general evaluation and the evaluation of all the role players. So meeting started bang on time. Great job. Keep doing it. And Sergeant at Arms opened the meeting very well. He was very comfortable on stage. He stated the mission and all the details about how the meeting would go in terms of Zoom. So very well done, Varun. Keep it up. And then he handed over to the presiding officer, who's none other than our president, Madam Toastmaster Pratibha. And always she inspires me. I have seen her working very hard. She's so passionate about Toastmaster. I mean, this is one of the milestones meeting, and she has done a lot of deliberation around it. She has invited so many people who all came and really inspired us with their stories, and that made all of us feel good as well. One thing I really like about Pratibha is that she always comes up with some great ideas, and I believe that if she's working in a professional company, she must have become one of the CXOs. You know, so Pratibha, maybe you need to look at that option as well. All right. So and then we have heard our district director speech, that is Mukta, and she really inspired with her story, with her inspiring story, and that helped us understand that no matter how small the role is, the work is, the contribution is, it always adds value to the big picture. So in the context of Toastmaster as well, each and every member's contribution is appreciated. And then we heard Hardik about his mythological story, which he connected with his personal things. And it was done so beautifully that it was very engaging. And there are several key takeaways from there. So thank you, Hardik. I'm not sure you are here, but great keynote speech. I really liked it very much. And then Sapna, she inaugurated our newsletter. So very well done. The newsletter has been really done beautifully. And I know that there has been a lot of work behind the scenes. So I think we should have a big round of applause for all the team members who have worked behind this newsletter creation. So great job, team. Please keep up the consistency. I know it requires a lot of effort, time, energy. But yeah, I mean, you guys need to manage it so well so that you do it in regular fashion. And then came Toastmaster of the Day, Arvind. As usual, we learn so much from Arvind, from everything he does on stage. The theme is superb, Arvind, which is apt for the season, that is there now and in between. Very nicely done. And throughout the session, you kind of shared various glimpses of Toastmaster history, the ups and downs, the challenges, the successes, the struggles. And there are many new members. I knew a few of those, but not everything. But I'm sure there are many new members who have been enlightened by that whatever organization is there, there's so much work behind that. And we should not get affected by the struggles. They help us improve. They help us do better. So at the end of the tunnel, there is always light if you keep going with passion and keep working towards your goal. Then the grammarian, Janvi, a wonderful job. You came on the stage, you explained about the role objective. The word of the day, very interesting, but one thing I would like to say is a couple of, in fact, suggestions. One is rhapsodic. I don't know if it's used in day-to-day language. So I would suggest that we should use a word which is commonly used. Now, I've not heard many people using rhapsodic. It's a nice word, by the way, but not commonly used. So maybe in future you use a word which is commonly used, so people will have that takeaway. They can use it in their day-to-day language. However, it's a nice word, but just think about it. And whether it is a noun or adjective or verb, so please mention that. So that is an extra takeaway for all the members out here. Otherwise, very well done. One more thing, I think you mentioned that Rhapsodic was used 7 times. Just mention who are the people who have used it, so give them certain recognition so they are encouraged to do that more, in future. And Krati, our counter role, good job done, Krati. Just a couple of suggestions, and that is mention who has spoken how many R's and Ums. You said a couple of R's or very few R's or Ums. Now that's not so clear, right? So because how would I improve if I'm using repeat words, 5 times, or R's or Ums 3 times? So when you tell me, Anand, you use 2 R's or 3 Ums, then I know where I need to work on. Okay, so please be specific. This is a platform where we appreciate one another's contribution, which helps us improve. Timer, Rajkaran, great job done as usual. You already seasoned at this, so fantastic work. All the evaluators as well, they have done a brilliant job. So can we have a big round of applause for all the evaluators? Okay, as well as all the role players. And Manish, yes, I mean, table topic master, excellent. I love the way you carried your role, Manish. I always see you bring innovativeness in your work. You do a lot of research, and it was completely aligned with the theme that is then, now, in between, right? So telephone and then iPhone, and then you had R.D. Burman and A.R. Rahman. So brilliant job, and it was really, we felt like hearing what the speaker is going to speak. So I love the topics you chose, your methodology you followed. So brilliant work. I think we all should do that way, which will bring entertainment along with education in the Toastmasters. And 2 special people who must be mentioned. One is Avantika, your dance performance. Excellent job, Avantika. Yeah, so can we have a round of applause for Avantika? Very good job. And we know we have a dancer, so we can say BTM has got talent, right? Same thing with Vikram. So Vikram guitar, it came at the right time, honestly speaking, when you sit for so long and you're not participating, you're just hearing, so you get tired, right? Your energy is losing, and you don't feel so focused. And the way you played your guitar, you sang the song, it brought some entertainment, and it energized our nervous system, and we're back to state. Okay, so great job done, and keep doing it. Well, so that's all from my side. Overall, I really enjoyed every bit of the session. Great job done. So let's have a big round of applause for all the speakers, all the role players. A fantastic job, guys. Please keep it up. Okay. And with this, I would like to hand over to Toastmaster of the Day, Arvind.
Thank you, General Evaluator Anand. And before I go forward, I'd like each one of you to put on your videos, and may I request that we take a snap, a photo for our records of the 350th meeting. Put on your best smiles.
Requesting Sudha, Bhageshri, Kshitij, Ranjini to kindly put on their videos, please. Okay, here we go. Done.
Thank you. I would like to thank Pratibha for inviting me to be the Toastmaster of the Day. And for those who are new here and those who are not so old in the club, I chose the theme because I am the only charter member who was then, is now, and all in between to be with the Bombay Toastmasters Club. Thank you for the opportunity, Pratibha, and I do hope I've shared a few nuggets. There's lots and lots. We, over 13.5 years, have amassed great fortunes, a good name, and we have new members here who would continue with the tradition. Thank you, and over to you, Pratibha.
Thank you, Arvind. It was really interesting. And that mood of 350th was rightly set. I would like to take some feedback from our old members. I can see Toastmaster Natarajan and before that, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our district officers, Division Director B, Toastmaster Monish. Toastmaster Monish, welcome to our 350th milestone meeting. Very happy to see you here. I know that today contest season is on, so many meetings are at the same time. Thank you very much. And I also would like to acknowledge the presence of Toastmaster Vamsi. Toastmaster Vamsi, Area G3 Director. Thank you very much. I would like to request you to say a few words, both of you, for our 350th meeting.
Actually, I know pretty late about this meeting. If I know before, I could have taken role in this.
Oh.
You know, a lot of contests going on here and there, so many places. I just went to some Bangalore meeting. After that, I saw someone's status. Immediately, I came here. At least to grab whatever time it is, I should come to this meeting and grab that opportunity. I really love it. And I will be definitely there for the next milestone. I will assure you that. Thank you.
Thank you. We are also eagerly waiting for your speech. Yes, Monish.
I think, as always, that I say, Pratibha, that this is a place where I come and learn. And today also, when I have joined for general evaluation section, I could realize the report from each one, the speech evaluation. I felt that I attended meeting from the beginning. So thanks for that wonderful general evaluation session. And I think I would like to really appreciate 13.5 years, 350th meeting, a safe place where we all can experiment and fail, bring our creative place. Keep doing that, and I hope we have 500 and 1000 meeting coming soon. And all the best to the club, and keep inviting us, keep giving us all the opportunity. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Monish, for those inspiring words. Now, I would like to request Natarajan. Natarajan was in EXCOM when I joined Bombay Toastmasters, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, hi. Sorry,
Hi, Natarajan, yes.
Hi. Yeah, hi, Pratibha. Nice to hear from you and everybody in BTM. Yeah, so I joined the club in November 2012, and I think Arvind was really kind to induct me, and I think that's just the start of it. He also mentored not just me, but I think so many of us. So yeah, I mean, then now in between, I think for me, just one word to attend this meeting today, which is goosebumps. So I live in Bangalore now, so around 1.5 years or so, I stopped going to Toastmasters because I became pretty busy with work. But yeah, BTM is a place that I always miss, and I take it forward, I think, everywhere in life, because the one thing that I learned was to speak correctly, say days instead of dice, and a few other things which Arvind and of course Manish also taught me. And missing Sunil here, he's not there in today's meeting. He's also someone from whom I learned a lot. Parag was the first president of BTM that I worked with as a member. And so yeah, I mean, seeing all of you here, Parag, Arvind, Manish, Babu, Pratibha, just gives me the standards of BTM are still very high. The new members coming and presenting speeches in innovative, creative ways. And I'm just so happy to be here. Thank you very much. And I hope to be here in the 400, 500 meeting or whatever it is, just to cheer you guys on. So yeah, wishing you guys good luck.
Thank you, Natarajan. It really, the memories are memories. I remembered when I joined Toastmaster, Arvind was VP membership. And I asked him number of questions. I joined some 2-3 sessions. And every time I used to get something new only to know about Toastmasters. Finally, I joined. With this, I would like to have some feedback from a guest Bhagyashree. She just called me in the afternoon and I invited her in the evening. She also became a table topic speaker. Bhagyashree, over to you. Let me know your feedback.
This is really good. I was not expecting such a great session. I thought that I'll get to attend subsequent week session. But fortunately, Pratibha told me that today you guys have a milestone meeting and I was glad. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the system of having speeches and all, in the moment having topics and then evaluations. I look forward to attend future meetings and it was a great experience. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhagyashree.
Thanks.
Now I would like to invite Shubham. Shubham, are you there? Shubham, Pradeep, would you like to give your feedback, please? Okay. Let's congratulate our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Ankit, who gave the idea of giving icebreaker marathon for this 350th meeting. And it was really interesting. When you hear icebreakers from different members, it just gives you a fantastic connection to that member. And evaluators, yes. Few of today's our evaluators have done first time evaluation, that too as a part level 1 completion. It was required under level 1. I congratulate the new members for the icebreakers and also the evaluators. Let's join hands for speakers and evaluators today. Today, our keynote speech was so engaging and so inspiring. I'm sure you all are waiting for the next keynote speech in our club. Let's congratulate Toastmaster Hardik with the certificate. Varun, I would like to request you.
Just one. Hold on one.
Please present the certificate and the photos. Can you highlight, spotlight Hardik?
Yeah, he's there.
With the certificate on the screen?
Yes, it's done.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Hardik. We are going to give you surely the recording of this session.
Thank you, Pratibha, for inviting me.
Thank you, thank you. Any special, are you missing something? Something you expected today, but you didn't get?
Sumptuous snacks.
That is only available in PTVA.
First BTM meeting without snacks.
Seriously.
I know. That dhokla we ate for years.
Dhokla, samosa.
You would have had a grand cake also today.
Yeah.
But virtual.
Virtual nahi chale.
Manish, where is your song?
My song will come, don't worry. In one of the meetings we'll have it. Don't worry.
Not today.
Not today. I have not done anything.
Manish,
yes.
नहीं, hello.
Manish, we want your song, yeah.
अरे क्या? Don't have the track or anything. ऐसे ही गाना पड़ेगा. चलेगा?
चलेगा. वो Bengali mix कर but.
नहीं, Bengali छोड़ो. अपना ये normal है. This recently I sang at the club, so I'll just sing one the antra, the mukhra rather. जीवन में जब ऐसे पल आएंगे, एक दूजे बिन हम ना रह पाएंगे,
है तुमसे मैं फिर बोलूंगा क्या प्यार से क्या खैरिशू वारिशू खैरिशू वारिशू. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish.
And for those who
Vidas?
don't know, this was by R.D. Burman, and this is from my favorite soundtrack, Harjai, starring Ranbir Kapoor and Tina Muneem. Nobody has heard of that movie because the movie flopped miserably.
Yeah, like song we have heard it. Song was popular. And thank you for singing those two lines. And I'm really telling you, the milestone meeting is given. On this milestone meeting, I would like to announce a special gift, which keep your email boxes open, attend, take the roles for the next meeting, and let's wait for some surprise. Okay. And for the new member, for the new guest, please connect with Avantika and know more about Toastmasters. Our next meeting is on 18th. Oh, sorry, 18th, because for so many days I was repeating 18th. Now, next meeting is on 25th. And we already got number of speakers. So evaluators, please come forward and let's have a rocking meeting just like today on next Saturday also. With this, I will close this meeting here. Thank you and congratulations all the members, including our guests. It was indeed a special meeting, milestone thing, and we realized the importance of celebration. Thank you very much. See you on next Saturday here at the same platform. Thank you.